विधवा होने के नाते तुझे रमन की नौकरी मिलेगी।
A non-Bollywoodized portrayal of the police and how complex that relation is, in that there is fear, but there is also apathy and a lot of aggression that they do face because expectations about them can be quite low, which in turn just creates more sort of corruption and malaise, and so it's must be very hard to be a cop with integrity, with a sort of feeling which is can also be promoted through film, that there isn't much hope. So I think that it's a very, very difficult job to have. I know, because I spent a lot of time with cops.
पुलिस वालों में मर्दों की कितनी कमी हो गई है, औरतन को अकेले भेज दिया है।
सांस ले, सांस छोड़।
I think Santosh surprises her, because the depth of, maybe Geeta might think I think the depth of emotion that she feels for her is a surprise. So she learns something about her own feelings, without labeling that as anything, just a deep, whether it be friend or mentee or whatever, or more. I think there's a strength of emotion which surprises her. And ultimately, the film for me was always about exploring a universe in which everyone is very, very grey, and my protagonist is also grey, and then exploring, okay, if you cross a boundary, when we all have our own boundaries, if you cross that boundary of greyness into blackness, then is there a way back?
पर लोगों को सच्चाई तो पता होनी चाहिए ना।
What I hope for this film is that, when you come out of this film, there's a lot to discuss. Like a lot to discuss. You can really go and have a drink and have a proper discussion about the film and what you liked or what you didn't like. But what I find funny is that, in this end sort of heat diner scene, everything that Shevma says is kind of, in this sort of psycho-feminist rhetoric she had, is kind of utterly shocking. But also, by the time you've been through the film, also kind of makes sense in a way. So I find that so interesting that those two things can both be true at the same time. And in that context, the question, I feel, is a very real one, actually, and a really interesting one to examine. So
किसी न किसी को तो अंदर डालना ही पड़ेगा।